Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first episode. Well, our first ever podcast, actually, Soulful Sips and Spills. I am Joanna, and this is Megan, and we are
Hi.
so excited to be here. Megan and I have been on a coaching journey together recently. We have recently just completed our psychology diploma, and that is how we know each other. And then we decided to come up with this idea of doing a podcast to share everything and anything. Isn't that right,
Oh,
Megan?
yeah, there is. I don't even want to put it into like almost a category, to be honest with you, Joanna, because I think it's going to probably be quite unhinged. Not so much so because I
You
do
think?
think both of our mums will be listening to this. So
This is such a good point.
something's maybe a bit less. But yeah, I don't even want to put it into a category, Joanna, because there's going to be everything from shadow work to manifestation to inviting some really special guests on and everything else in between. So yeah, just super pumped.
We are there, and you're right. There are some super guests. We've got some really cool people lined up. So yeah, I am super excited too. So without further ado, let's start our first episode, which is called "Taking the Plunge," and we'll have more
Yes.
on why we have called it "Taking the Plunge" a little bit later. So to start off, let's learn a little bit more about Megan and I. I am currently based in New Zealand. I'm from Scotland, so obviously the accent probably gave me away. I've been in New Zealand for coming up for 8 years now. Oh, it's just a great country. So just ended up sticking it out here. Never thought that I would still be here, to be honest. Always
Mm,
was a bit of a trekker arounder. Never really
yeah.
stayed in one place, but yeah, New Zealand's stuck. So yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
And Megan, where are you?
I am in a beautiful little gem of an island called Guernsey, which is probably the furthest away from Japan, which is quite funny because I just, if it wasn't of us connecting from studying together and having sort of met in the way we did, I don't know how we would have ever crossed paths. And I can't imagine my life sort of without you now. I feel like I've known you forever when really I've known you, 6 months or so. And I'm like, yeah, are you
Yeah,
sure you've
well, and
not always been
actually,
friends?
when you think about it, it's not even really maybe even 6 months
Yeah.
because we weren't really
True.
connected at the
Yeah.
start of the training, right?
Yeah.
Like we
True.
all at the start of the training we were all put into different peer groups and
Hmm.
Megan and I never crossed paths. I always thought Megan looked really cool. And it was really only until like maybe the last couple of calls, Megan or I can't remember who it was, mentioned crystals. And then the other one was like, I love crystals. And I was like, oh, I need to
I,
hook up with her. So I messaged Megan randomly to be like, do you want to be my friend? And she did. So here we are.
yeah.
Soulful Sips and Spills.
I love it because yeah, I think you're so right. You messaged me, and the funny bit was, I that mentioned crystals and like your cupboard and like the work you've done and like
Oh my God.
Reiki, and I was
I
literally
can't
like,
believe you've just been like, Joanna's got a crystal cupboard to everybody. Thank you, Megan.
I've outed all of your secrets now. No
The
sins left.
skeleton's out the closet.
Wow, shiny ones at that.
Oh,
And I
so
just was
shiny, so
obsessed. I was like,
pretty.
I need her in my life. And then you messaged me, and I thought, holy shit, I've done it. Holy shit, I've
I've
manifested my
manifested
friend.
her.
Oh, I love it. But yeah, it just feels absolutely crazy because I just feel like I've known you a lot longer. And yeah, I'm just super excited for this and I'm super excited for everything else in between. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited as well. There's just so many good things coming. And we just have such good chats. Such good chats. We'll see
Yes.
if everybody else thinks they're good chats, if anyone listens to the podcast or not, but we think they're good chats. Hence
We'll
why
have
we're
a good
here.
time anyway, babes.
Yeah, we'll have a nice time.
Oh, I love that. I'm so excited for this, Joanna, because we've got our soulful sips questions
Oh,
and
yes.
I have prepared a few. And as I say, they are. They're meant to be fun, but they're meant to tickle you a little bit, you know, they're meant to pull you out. So if you're thinking a bit like, what do you mean? Just lean in, babe. Just
Okay.
trust, okay?
I'll just close down my eyes,
Yes,
get
close
into
down
my
your
body,
eyes. Just
and just
relax.
go with whatever comes to me. Okay.
Yes, please. So, if your soul had a drink order, what would it be?
Hmm. Any kind of drink order.
Any. It could be alcoholic. We could be in a cafe. We could be all inclusive. If your soul was to be
Well, I feel
described,
like I'd want like a really like bougie kind of drink, but I actually just really like a cup of tea. Love a cup of, I love a cup of tea. Can't go
yes,
wrong with a cup of tea. And I feel
yes.
a cup of tea can be anywhere, anytime.
Yeah. Anytime,
Like,
anywhere, any
oh,
place,
yeah,
any
exactly.
place.
I
You
also feel
are
like
a
cups
cup
of
of
tea are
tea.
very international, so you can get them in any country.
Yes, yes, that's so
I've made that
true.
sound like I'm a jet setter. Like, yes, in any country. I don't go that many places. I mean, I know I'm in New Zealand, but I go like New Zealand to Scotland to my
I
mum's
say,
kitchen where there are Tetley tea bags, so it's all good.
see, don't even get me
Don't get
started on the
Tetley tea
tea.
bags here, Megan.
Yeah, don't get me started on the tea branding anyway. I'm a Yorkshire tea girl through and through.
I
We'll
don't think
say
you get that
me.
here either.
You don't get Yorkshire tea bags.
No, in New Zealand, they've got shops.
The
What's it
fuck?
called? It's like the British shop, or I can't remember quite what it's called. It's
Okay.
like, and in there, they'll sell that sort of tea bags, but they'll charge you an
Right.
arm and a leg for them. In place
Wow.
like the supermarket, like it's called New World and Count. Oh, it's actually just changed to Woolworths, but it's got
Oh,
like
it's changed to
no,
Woolworths.
yeah, but it's not the same
Oh.
like what we knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that as well. But no, it's not the same as what we knew. It's like an Australian brand. They've got
Oh.
Dilmah tea and Twinings.
Oh, okay. Okay. Twinings is okay too, but I
I
didn't
drink a lot of
realise
Twinings here, but it's not the same as Tetley's.
it's not the same as Tetley. I love
No,
that.
it's
When you go
not.
home, I can imagine you just like fucking take the time, taking this back home.
I'm not gonna lie. I may be partial to putting a box of Tetley's in my suitcase.
I may or may not.
I may or may not. That's up for everyone else to
The
decide what
purposes
I get
of
up
the
to.
camera, this is hypothetical. This is it's lies.
I'm gonna go for a cup of tea,
Love it.
and I don't like it too. I feel like we need to get into the color of it. Okay,
Okay, yeah,
because
this might actually be a make or
ending
break of our
question.
relationship right now, so
The
tread carefully.
podcast may end. This
The-
might be the first and last episode. I
As soon
don't
as it
like it
totally.
too light.
Mm-mm.
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 I think I'd prefer it to be darker than lighter, but I do like milk in it.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotta have milk in it, but I do
Mm.
like a very strong tea. My mum says that she has a builder's tea or a strong tea, but
Oh
as
yeah.
she's gotten older, she scares that tea bag, babe.
Oh,
She's dropping that shit in there and taking it out. It's disgusting. Like that looks like piss, Linda. Let it brew,
oh,
my love.
Linda,
You know what I mean? You're that's a waste of tea. I'm
Linda, we're
thick and
disappointed. At my work, the tea bags are like they must be like value tea bags. They're
yeah.
check me. I sound like a tea bag snob. They're value tea bags. Yeah, my soul drink is a cup of
Cup
tea.
of tea.
How
Oh,
original.
no, I
How
love
original.
it. If your intuition or the voice in your head or like a part you connect with inside, if it had a
Mhm.
voice, what do you think yours would sound like?
I feel like my voice would be serious.
Hmm. Okay. Is it like
Yeah.
serious as in are they female, male?
Female, serious. Yeah, I think that's it.
Does she have like spectacles? Does she I can imagine her as like a
I don't know because I just feel things. I
you
just
just
know
feel
things.
her.
I get really like, I'm a really visual person
Hmm.
and I get like really clear visualizations, but like my intuition I just know, like it's a
Hmm.
feeling, like I know
Hmm.
something's going to happen, or
Yeah.
like I feel it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Because, yeah, some people, I just find it interesting because some people have very strong visions or like premonitions or visualizations, but sometimes
Hmm.
you can almost then feel shit if you don't get those. So, like, I love that
Yeah.
you've highlighted that it is a feeling as well. And you can just know without explaining it. Absolutely love that.
In the retreat that I did, there were a
Hmm.
number of people there that couldn't visualize, and they
Yeah.
found the future visualization technique that I did incredibly
Hmm.
difficult because they were like, I can't
Mm,
see anything. But actually, it's not about seeing, it's about
mm,
feeling like how you want to feel in the
mhm,
future, or feeling, whatever's coming to you, and
mhm,
just, yeah, accepting whatever comes to you. You don't necessarily need to be seeing it, in loads of
mhm.
detail.
Would you say, especially when you can't see it and it is frustrating, is that the sense of the feeling you should amplify that feeling more, especially if you can't see it? Because obviously, if you can amplify inside.
Need to really lean into it, don't you? Really like
Hmm.
lean into how it's making you feel. Or if you've got an idea of what you want for the future and you can't visualize it, then you
Hmm.
should think about how you want it to feel, like how you want
Mm,
to feel in the future, rather than
mm.
trying to visualize what it looks like. Just, yeah, feel how you want to
Yeah,
feel in that moment.
I love that. And rather than focusing on, like you say, maybe what's not there as well, would you say? Like,
Yeah,
as in what you don't have?
exactly. Or like, how do you not want to feel?
Okay. Yeah, getting out of that kind of habit there of being like, I don't want to feel like this. Okay. But then
Yeah.
how do you want to feel? Amazing.
Exactly.
Love
Yeah,
it.
like changing your mindset, your
Mm-hmm.
perspective on like how you actually do want to feel. Like so often we end up in these habits and we think we have to feel a certain way because we're in a certain environment and that environment makes us feel like X, Y, and Z. But no, you don't. You just need to change your perspective on it.
Yeah, and that even that's quite a subtle but really quite powerful shift there. If I don't want to feel this, then how do I? I love what you said about in certain situations or places, it's almost like programmed in, would you say?
Yeah, it's like a habit. Like
Mm,
for example, people who have been smokers like 20 years and then they've
hmm.
quit for the last 20 years and they've never looked at a cigarette, but they used to smoke when they went to the beach. So,
Hmm.
say they hadn't gone to the beach for 20 years. Okay, this is getting dramatic, but say you hadn't been on a beach holiday for 20 years
Yeah.
and then you go onto the beach, suddenly usually what they find is they're like, oh, I'm craving a cigarette. And it's because they're in that
Mm,
environment, they're feeling relaxed. And that's what normally would have happened. And even
uh,
though this massive amount of time has passed, those environments like make you think about the
mm,
habit. And it's the same thing with like, how do you want to feel? Like if you end up in an
mm,
environment where you always feel miserable, 9 times out of 10, you're still going to feel miserable unless you change your mindset because that's the
yeah.
habit you've got yourself into. And that's the thing with like
And
feelings,
it,
habits,
yeah.
environments. It's, it can be a good habit or a bad habit. If you're, the gym, if you wire yourself to be like, whoa, this is a great place to be. And I feel so good after being at the gym. Well, once you've been
Mm,
there, and you've got into that habit, you'll be like, oh my God, the gym's amazing. Me, on the other hand, the thought of going to the gym, I'm like, this is really boring. I've been on the treadmill for a whole 10 minutes and
yeah, time
I
goes
want to
so
leave
slow.
now. Yeah. And I'm just like, what
Mm,
am I doing
mm,
here? It does not fill up my cup whatsoever. But I see
yeah.
other people in there and they're like all happy, ecstatic, running for their lives on the running
Yeah.
machine. And I'm just like bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I really
but I
feel
also
that.
think that's because of the way I have kind of wired that into me. Because so often I sit for hours before I go to the gym and I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I'm dreading
Mm,
going to the gym. And then I finally get there And oh, guess what? I'm not having a good time because I've wired myself up for not having
Y-
a good time.
Yeah,
Anyway, I don't have a gym membership anymore, so that's not a problem for me.
be pleased to know. Don't know if I told you this, but I have finally cancelled my gym membership that was
Oh,
still active and I wasn't using.
yes, I've been there as well. Yeah, did that for
And
about a
I
year
kept,
before. Yeah,
yeah, me too, me too. Yep, yep, yep. And I
yeah.
thought,
Don't know why
no,
I did
I'm gonna
that.
keep doing it. And the worst bit is, Joanna, it's a 24-hour gym. And that was the whole reason I did it, was because I work nights. And I
Same.
thought, oh, we'll be smart.
Yeah, same.
But
Yeah.
like you said, for other people as well, it fueled you and it filled you,
Yeah.
it filled them, but maybe for you it doesn't. But I love what you said about the environments actually, and that makes so much sense because I noticed, for example, when I was like quitting smoking cigarettes, I found it was easier when I was, say, studying, doing my own thing, XYZ. But every time I got, say, in my car or like to go to a night shift, it wasn't till I was there or in the car that I was like, I need a cigarette now. Like I need one right now. And it
Interesting.
was it was every time I would get in the car,
Hmm.
I went, oh, I need a cigarette. And I had to like try and change it with like a piece of gum or, just like a fidget toy in all honesty. Because every time I got in the car, it was that automatic, unconscious, subconscious have a fag. Sometimes I didn't even
Yeah.
know I was doing it, and there would be a cigarette in my mouth, and I'd be like, "This tastes absolutely awful. Why am
Yeah,
I smoking?"
because you're just got into the habit of it, right? Like that's
Mm,
just what you do. And that's what I'm saying. It's good and bad habits. Like you
mm,
could get into a really good habit and you just like brushing your teeth, you just do it,
mm-hmm,
right? Like
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and then but you don't do it because you like brushing your teeth, right? You do it because of the way that it makes
mm-hmm.
your mouth feel afterwards, right? It feels good to have
Yeah,
clean. And I think
yeah.
that's when you're trying to instill habits, like good habits, that's what you need to think of about the way you're going to feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. The way
And the
you're gonna
same with
feel.
like the future visualization. If you can't visualize it, well,
Mm,
even if you can visualize it, feel it.
feel
Like,
it.
how do you want to feel? Like, really feel into it. Imagine you're already doing it. Like,
Yeah.
feel,
And yeah, and
yeah.
how would it feel? And if you struggle with the feelings, you need to like really connect into what's going on, don't you, inside of like to amplify it because yeah, as you say, if you can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not true. It doesn't mean that it can't happen or doesn't exist. But your brain, you have to work with your brain, don't you? Because A, it likes familiar, doesn't like change, even if it's good change, right? Like, even if you're in the most shittiest situation, your brain loves familiar, even if it's shitty, and it will, give you physical symptoms, never mind emotional symptoms to kind of
Mm-hmm.
get you to do that. And yeah, I just blows my mind with how you have to work with your brain. Like, I'm almost like, excuse me, why are you against me here? Why are you against me? We should be teammates. Work together in unison, mind, body, soul. Thank you.
Definitely. I think that's such a good point.
Oh, I have a juicy one for you.
Okay.
What's your coaching red flag? Like a phrase or a vibe that just makes you go like, absolutely fucking not, or like makes you call bullshit? That's my question to you.
I don't think it's a phrase. I just think it's a word, and I'm probably going to be hammered for this, but because I think you use it quite a lot.
Oh God.
Um, it really, really irks me when people just use the word authentic all the time, like
Oh yeah.
authenticity, authentic. And I'm just like, think of something else. Like, you literally sound like you're selling a handbag on eBay. Like, oh, this is
Yeah.
authentic. I think it really irks me because I often see people using be your authentic self. Like, I am so authentic. And I'm just like, you couldn't be more
Fake.
unauthentic. You
Mm.
are so far from being genuine
Mm-hmm.
that you would know genuine if it hit you in the face. So yeah, I just feel like authenticity, authentic. As soon as people start preaching that, I'm like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah. It is tricky because it is one of me. Oh, I don't want to say buzzwords, but that is
You do
essentially
love
what it's
an
turned
authentic.
to. Yeah, I do
But
love an
but the
authentic.
difference is you are authentic.
I would fucking hope so, because if not, that brand's gone straight up the shitter, Joanna. Like,
If not, I have just cancelled you right now.
cancelled,
We're not
gone.
even 30 minutes in.
Fuck.
But yeah, there's just so many people that are like authentic this, authentic that, and I'm like, just because you heard someone else saying it doesn't mean you need to say it. Go and think of your own thing to
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
so many people like come on Instagram, like other coaches or influencers and or
Mm,
people selling courses. Do you want to be your authentic self?
yeah,
Well, who
yeah.
else are they going to be? Because they are
Mm,
obviously themselves.
mm-hmm,
Anyway,
mm,
grinds my
yeah.
gears.
I'm sure we've probably discussed various things at length because it's me and you, complete chatterboxes. Like, I will send Joanna a 10-minute voice note, then apologize for my podcast episode. And that's why I was laughing when we said about doing a podcast if we were nervous, because I was like, we chat for Britain anyway. It'll be no problem.
Yeah,
It'll be
we
fine.
do. Right, my turn to ask you now. So, if your soul had a drink order, what would it be?
It's stuck between two, because
Well, if I'm honest, one would have thought when you made the questions that you would have thought up what
well,
your
no,
answer
but
was.
see, this is me all over, babe. This is me all over. So I'm a
Yeah.
nightmare. I'm a nightmare because I'll have a hot drink, like a cup of tea, but then I'll
Mm-hmm.
also have a cold drink, maybe like a juice or a squash or a water on the side. And then,
Nice. I like it.
yeah, see, and then sometimes, and it depends sometimes
Oh,
what drink, see. So if
well,
I've got,
maybe you've got two drink orders. Maybe it's,
exactly.
yeah. See, I
Okay.
didn't think of that.
See, not just for a hat, darling. I think that's what my mum says.
Well, down here for dancing and up here for thinking.
Yeah, I love it. See, just connections in so many ways. My soul had a drink. I think if it's going to be a cold drink, it would be tropical juice.
Do love a tropical.
I just, I love that fresh, like, not just
Yeah,
like clean, but just fresh, summer. I just love it.
it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. Yes, it's a vibe. But if we're going to be completely honest, the hot drink, it's got to be tea. It has to be. Like, I'm always
Well, yeah.
tea queen or cacao. Either one. Tea
Yeah.
queen. But yeah, with cacao, I do really love it. But yet again, it's probably me just being particular and bougie. Depends what milk I use. Depends what cup it's in. Depends what fucking weather we're having outside. Clearly, with the way I'm going on. So yeah, tea, cacao, tropical juice. Megan has three. She can't pick one.
Next question. If your intuition had a voice, what would they sound like?
Mm, it feels like that angel and devil almost. Like, it feels like I have maybe a nicer part of me or like a more critical side. And the nicer part, she kind of feels a bit like magical, bit whimsical, really gives me like no nonsense sort of thing. But she's quite a
Mm-hmm.
sass, like, come on, girl, pick your head up we go, darling. It might be a bit of like a Scottish thing, but I feel like it's a bit of me more. It's a bit like, come on, lassie, you got this. Come on, where's your Scottish? Like,
Nice.
come on, where are you? And then the other part of me, I think, I'm sure I've told you before, but I call her Shitty Sue. And
Yeah.
I imagine that she has a fag hanging out of her mouth and she's just really like, she's like out of EastEnders, and she's like, you going out like that, are you? I wouldn't go dressed out like that. I wouldn't do that because do you know what would happen? Something unrealistic. That's what fear. Like, she's a bitch. She comes at me for stuff. Whereas I like my sassy, angelic boss bitch side. I don't know who she is, but she can stay more.
Funny. I love how Shitty Sue instantly turned to having a Scottish accent.
I'm not gonna lie. It's the only accents I can do is like country or common. Country or common. That's
Excellent.
me. That's me.
Well, we
Just
look
a
forward
common
to hearing
lass.
some of those. No, I didn't. What do you mean common? Scottish people are not common. What?
I was waiting for you.
Like, wait a minute.
I was
Rewind.
waiting because I was also shitting myself for when my mum hears it. So I was like, oh, she's gonna smack my ass. And then you went, "God, I was like, oh, it worked. It worked. Glad you're on a screen. No, I'm joking. We are
Mm,
the top of the
hilarious.
top, actually. So.
One moment in your life that cracked you open.
Oh God. Where to begin? When I was born. No, joking. Out the womb. God, that probably is a story, but it's not the one I want to tell you about. But funny
We
side.
could invite your mum on to tell that story if you
Oh
like.
my
I mean,
God, she'd
we
love
do
it.
have a number of guests lined up, but I'm sure we could fit in Linda.
I'm sure we could fit in Linda and be like, listen, Linda, listen, tell us. But no, jokes aside, I think the last few years, there's probably been many moments that have cracked me wide open. But I think maybe do you say the catalyst, like the thing that started it all, was actually being in quite an abusive, toxic relationship. I really lost myself. Like I lived with them and they were just really horrible. They would cheat all the time. I genuinely was so gaslit that like I just didn't know which way was up, and it got to a point where like I didn't believe myself, I didn't trust myself, I didn't even know myself, I didn't know what I liked, and like I knew he was like evil. He'd kind of convinced me that I couldn't live without him, I couldn't survive, I couldn't function, I couldn't breathe, and like how would you cope without me? And when I think back actually to that Megan was working nights, like did this, did that. She was paying for XYZ. Like she was killing it. She didn't know that because she'd been like squashed and fucking pummeled into whatever he wanted her to be. And I think, to be honest, that was the catalyst of like going through such a shitty time, really losing myself. And I think I started to get those little nudges and those,
Mm.
yeah, just those nudges of there is more to this. Don't deserve this at all. And to kind of cut a long story short, when I finally sort of escaped it all and got the courage, because it never is just that, is it? It always continues. Like
No?
I had him stalking me, his family was stalking me. It went on and on, Joanna. I really was, I was scared to go outside. Like I had my
Awful.
friends
I'm
come
so
with me
sorry to hear
to
that.
like walk the dog. I was like, I will not, like, I'm petrified. And I think back to her and I think, babe, like goodness. But that was really the start of it. And it wasn't till we finally cut ties and it was all done that I went into mental health services and went to a mindfulness course because I wasn't eating, I wasn't showering. I moved back home with my weed dog and black sacks. I remember my mum, bless her soul. I think she was letting me have a sulk, fair. But it got, 6 weeks in or so, and my mum kind of walked past the room and she was like, Megan, I love you so much, but you fucking stink. You hum. Like, you need to get the fuck up. Like, she was like, I love you, but hen, like, you are lifting. Like, get in there. It wasn't till I was like,
Tough love, baby. Tough love.
yeah, I needed that.
Mhm.
Like, I think because I didn't know how to function. I didn't trust myself. Like, when I had those, like, go for your shower, like, wash, it will make you feel so much better. Because of like you said earlier, even the environment I had been in, I didn't trust that that was good for me and it would make me feel good because I'd kind of had to believe something else in order to survive. And yeah, I think that actually is probably the moment that cracked me wide open was turning up at my mum's with my black sacks and my dog and just being like, everything is falling around me, but I know I'm gonna fucking make it. I know some way,
No.
some shape, somehow, you will not be the end of me. And don't get me wrong, it was probably a bit of to and fro. I'm sure at the time I was like, oh my God, like I love him. And my mum was like, okay, do you, hun? Because like he is awful. Like, no. But yeah, I think that is probably the moment that cracked me wide open in the best way, just because I actually went on such a journey to rediscover myself. And that is actually how my brand name was built, because
Nice.
it was just personal to me. I went to the depths of my sort of soul, and I had to rediscover, like, what did I like? What did I love? What meant something to me? And what didn't I like? What did I not want any more of? And I just, yeah, I wanted more from life. And I think going through the shit was what got me there. I think it was almost like character development. I don't know if you've sometimes come across people and you think you have not had enough character development in your life. Like
Oh,
you
definitely.
need some more, sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's, yeah, definitely a big moment. Just left a really shit relationship, lost myself completely, but rediscovered myself, refound myself.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing, right? Sometimes you have to lose yourself to find yourself, right?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, for
As
sure.
hard as that may sound to some people, I do believe that actually sometimes the most lost people are people who are ready to, really step into their power and find themselves.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I guess it is. You need that reassurance or that confirmation that, like, there is no bad parts within you. You don't deserve whatever you're going through, but we don't need to blame. We don't need to control or, yeah, we can flip that. We can work with it
Yeah.
because, of course,
Sometimes it is just healing, is just walking away, not looking for closure, not looking for any sort of
yes.
validation. It's just walking away
Yeah.
and
Not trying to
starting,
fix. Yeah.
yeah, starting afresh. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes that's the bestest form of whether that's self-love or self-acceptance, is actually, I deserve not to be in this anymore. I deserve more. And the
Yeah.
most powerful thing I can do is walk away and
Yeah,
rediscover
definitely.
everything. Love, love, love it.
Yeah.
Oh, what some bloody lovely questions. That was good
They were
fun.
good
I enjoyed
questions.
that. That was really
Yeah, they were.
good.
They were good. Awesome. Well, that's our questions for this week.
Yeah.
I quite liked those actually. They were quite fun.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
love
gonna lie, I was a
that.
little bit apprehensive when you said I've written some
Mm.
questions. I thought, okay, this could be awkward real
This is,
quick.
yeah, this is before going to sleep. Like, I'm so excited. I must write more.
Yes, when I got your text message and you're like, I'm just going to sleep, but I've just thought of all these questions. And I was like, oh, holy shit, I wonder what the questions are. And then I was like, I daren't ask her because she's obviously meant to be sleeping. And then you're like, it's 20 to 1. And I was like, 20 to 1 in the morning. Great, great. We're getting up early to record a podcast, remember? Otherwise, I'll be still up at 20 to 1. Anyway,
Oh.
I was going to tell you
Oh.
about my day
Oh, yeah, please
and
do.
how we got, how I persuaded you to change the name of this episode to Taking the Plunge.
Yeah, baby.
So, and actually, this experience today has really concreted in for me how important it is to carve out time for yourself to do
Mm.
something that you love, that really lights you up, whether it be like a hobby, self care, whatever.
Mm.
I went to my first experience of infrared sauna and cold plunge pool and contact care
Okay.
touchy thing, which I'll get to in a minute.
Right.
I
Okay.
couldn't quite remember what I had booked for this retreat, day out
Okay. Right.
experience because I booked it like 2 months ago.
Oh,
And
okay.
the lady messaged me to say she was sick, so she had to postpone it. And I said, oh, I'm actually getting my eyebrows microbladed.
Oh,
So
okay.
I won't be able to go in a sauna because they won't be healed for like four
No.
weeks. So anyway, that brings us fast forward to today. They are healed. I was able to go.
Yes.
Woohoo! But I'd forgotten what I'd booked. So I get there. I'm all excited. It's like up this hill and it's overlooking the bay. It's absolutely like
Oh.
phenomenal views, like amazing. And got to climb all these stairs to get there.
A
exhausted.
workout already.
Yeah, exhausted by the time I get to the top. Anyway, I get in, she's got this massage couch there, and I was like, pretty sure I booked a sauna. She's like, okay, so what are you looking for today? And I'm like, I'm just going to be transparent with you. I can't actually remember what I've booked. And I thought I booked a sauna. And she was like, oh, yeah. What I thought we would do is your treatment first, and then you can just melt away in the sauna. And I'm like,
Oh,
that sounds great. What's the
yeah.
treatment? What's the
Yeah, what
treatment?
is it?
What have I booked? I have booked contact care therapy, touchy-feely session is what I'm going to call it. I
Oh,
am actually
nice.
going to go as far to say it was a bit like a skeleton tickle. That's definitely not what she called it. She had all these like scientific whatsy doodah names. Basically, I love that you're laughing at this. This is a real thing that happened to me today. You touch bones in the
Oh,
body that
yeah.
are, and they might be like filled with trauma.
Okay.
And you put, well, I don't, she puts like
Mm.
pressure on them and it's like releases them and then the energy
Oh,
starts flowing.
yes,
But what was
beautiful.
quite amazing about it was, right, I have had some surgeries and things, and in those areas,
Mm.
I never told her,
Yeah.
she knew that those areas were heavier. And then, as you know, I've been
Wow.
quite unwell with the flu
Yes.
for like
Yeah.
5 or 6 weeks now,
Yeah.
and I've still got this pain across my head. Whenever I tip it
Mm.
forward, it's like inflamed.
Yeah.
She knew that, and I never said. She didn't know that I'd
Mm.
been unwell. She
Yeah.
thought I wasn't there for 4 weeks because my eyebrow. The universe aligned that perfectly. I was meant to be there today. I wouldn't have been
Hmm.
able to go otherwise because I'd been unwell. Anyway,
Yeah.
I
I
do the
love it.
skeleton tickle. That was quite nice.
I love that, by the way, skeleton tickle. Can we
Yeah, it
market
was
that as,
a
with your
skeleton
Chinese
tickle.
meridian points, have a skeleton
Um,
tickle?
anyone that's listening to this might come in and be like, Joanna, it's actually X, Y, and Z. And I'll be like, yeah, might have been.
That's okay.
Uh,
Thank you for the education. All right.
yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, I went for a skeleton tickle
Yeah,
and
you did.
then I went in the infrared sauna. I did two
Oh,
rounds of 20 minutes in the sauna. I had to think, am I going to be able to be in this for 20 minutes? Because usually
yeah.
you're like roasting, ready to go.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was actually really comfortable
Oh, lovely.
um, in there. And it was just so relaxing. I was like, just completely like
Love
so
that.
relaxed, completely
Mm.
like I don't even think I was thinking much, to be honest.
Yeah.
There was just,
Yeah.
and also because it was such a good view, you could see out the glass sauna
Oh,
window
could
down the
you?
bay. Yes.
Oh
So
my
it was like
God.
amazing. And
That
then, so you
that
get out
is
the
freaking
sauna
good.
and then you jump in the plunge pool, which is outside on this balcony
Yes.
that's in amongst all these trees. Because obviously I had to walk up all the stairs. So it's
Oh
like
my
you're in the
gosh.
treetops. Honestly, it was phenomenal. Like, anyway,
Wow.
that is how I took the plunge for the first time into the
I
cold
love it.
pool. And I was like, Megan and I this evening are taking the plunge to do our first episode on the podcast. Oh, and now it's called taking the
Yes.
plunge. You're welcome, Megan.
Yeah. You're
You
welcome,
can,
Megan. Yes.
yeah, you're welcome, Megan. And everyone can now tell who the
I
brains
wrote
of
it.
this
Yes,
operation is.
I love it. I am the brains
Yeah,
behind the camera.
I am. I
I
am.
love
And if
it.
anyone's wondering, yes, I will be creating the next names for the next episodes. And do I have a cracker for next week? Give you a sneak peek. Yes, I will. Megan's probably cringing over there because she does not know about this. But I'm going rogue. It's late at night. I'm tired.
I was gonna
I'll
say, I
say
was like,
anything.
I'm really on the edge of my seat. I'm like, Joanna, what is it?
You're like, what is it?
Oh God.
Next week, the episode is going to be called Dance Like Everyone is Watching.
No, I love that. No, I love that. Because everyone's like, dance like no one's watching. No, I can shake that
Well, yeah,
ass.
but yeah, that's next week
I
though.
still
So yes, that's how I was saying because taking the plunge. So this is us. We're taking the plunge, doing our first episode. I went, did my plunge pool. Honestly though, I so wish you could
love
go,
it.
Megan. It was just amazing. I've
Oh,
texted
I
so many
will.
people since I have been. to be like, oh my God, it was amazing. The views, and actually, when I was sitting there, I was like, Megan is going to love this. Like, I
I
cannot
can't
wait for you
wait.
to come.
I can't
Like,
wait. I
your
can't
trip's going to
wait.
be phenomenal. And oh my God, you're just going to love it. Like, New Zealand is so picturesque. I feel like you can't take a bad picture in New Zealand because
No,
it's
no.
so pretty. Like, the views are just out of this world.
Even when you said
Yeah,
to me
so
about
anyway,
when it rains and you were like, even when it rains, I'd still rather be in New Zealand. Like, it's just that undescribable, if you know what I mean. I'm like, bitch, I'm on my way. Like, heat the
she is
bed
on
up
her
for
way.
me. Heat the bed up.
She is. She's on her way. We will be podcasting together from New Zealand. Yeah, how exciting. Honestly, it was just so good. And I think that, yeah, it just really, really cemented in for me
Yeah.
how important it is to take time for yourself, to carve out that
Hmm.
time. It's got to be a non negotiable. Otherwise, you just run
Hmm.
yourself into the ground. I mean, don't get me wrong. I turned up there today thinking I was completely fine.
Yeah.
And well, I wasn't. I was, but I wasn't like the best
Mm,
I could be
yeah.
because I left and I was just like, oh my God, I feel amazing. I could take on the world.
I
Like, this
love
is so
that.
good. Also, maybe my soul drink should have been
Mm.
electrolytes thing, but
Oh,
she had made
okay.
it. So it was like a lime, water, salt, electrolytes thing. And she said it was so good
Oh,
because obviously the sauna, you like
yeah.
sweat out whatever. And so she's like, it's to keep hydrated. And it was beautiful. Maybe that should have been my soul drink.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
Googled it
good.
and Google said that you could do it every morning if you wanted. I was a bit unsure because it had
Oh,
salt in
nice.
it.
Oh, I wonder if it's similar to ginger shots in the
Oh,
morning.
I love a ginger shot. Quite easy to make at home, but
Okay.
you've just got to be careful you don't put too much turmeric in because
Mm.
that's spicy.
Yeah.
That's
Why
intense.
is it spicy? Oh, gosh.
Yes, that is intense.
I love that. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
yours is like a lime salt chaser.
Oh, honestly, I was loving it.
Mm.
Was loving life in there.
I don't know if we touched on it earlier when we were saying about authenticity, and we were saying about people can just be so full up of everyone else but themselves. And like I like because I totally get it, right? When you don't know yourself or you don't know who you are, what you like, or what even what you're interested in, like it can be really scary and it can be really uncomfortable and upsetting. And I get it because I have been there. Like I have been there many a time. I have shed a skin and gone, well, who the fuck is Megan then? Like, who am I? Like, what do I want? What do I like? What do blah, 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 whatever it is. Some people are just quite happy knowing what they know and just carrying on, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I think actually, the more I've changed and grown and actually, you're going to hate this word, but leaned into my own authenticity and like what lights me up, like to me, not anyone else, to me. That has been where I've noticed I'm so fucking triggered, Joanna. And I know you know that because I literally, and I'll say to her, sorry if you think I'm just being judgy or rude, but like, this is how I feel. And Joanna's like, oh, Megan, even if you are judgy and rude, who the fuck cares? It's your feelings. Like, you allow yourself to feel them. And I think I I've obviously been cross because I'm like, and I know I joked before, like, I've been really clear, like, oh my God, no, I haven't. I've been really polite and just gone, and I've not said a word. I've not advocated and I've not tried to make a problem. I've not tried to make an issue in fear, I think, of being that bitch, of putting that boundary in, of, well, it's just an Instagram post or it's just a phrase or it's just, whatever the fuck it is, it could be anything. Like it might seem basic to some, but to me, it's been like a labor of love, or it's been something that's come from my heart space. I haven't just like, I know I joked and I have chat GBT things in my time. Chat GBT is becoming quite
Hasn't everybody?
it's becoming quite my friend. I was really against it at first,
Hmm.
but I ask him little questions. He checks in on me. He's lovely. We've made pals. We're great. But, with certain things that I've either been creating, thinking, feeling, going through, or even just some experiences, they haven't been conjured up from ChatGPT. They haven't been orchestrized for
Yeah.
comedic effect. They've been like, something really personal to my story or to my
Yeah.
heart space. It can be a long time to fill up this cup of Megan and to like
Yeah,
strain
and
it
like to find
out.
your voice, right? Stuff
Yeah.
that you share is stuff that you've dreamed up. And then
Hmm.
when you see that she's just taking it,
I don't know if it makes me feel that my voice, well, what you think isn't right or isn't enough because somebody's done it that way. But at the same time, I'm not sure it's that. It more feels like I've worked really hard at something or I've tried really hard. But like it doesn't matter because if they've said it, somehow it's a good idea. You know, like if you said a joke and nobody heard you and then somebody else repeats your joke and everyone laughs and you're
yeah.
like, that was fucking mine, but okay. Like I'm actually quite funny, by the way, just saying. Like, you know, it's just it feels like that. Like I've kind of put a lot of effort or time, energy, and it just feels diluted. It just feels inauthentic because that's not you, that's me.
Mhm.
You know, be full up of your own thing.
I feel like is insecure, unsure of herself, and might
Mm.
just be trying to fit in.
This is the part of growth that I
But
don't like.
what would be really magical is if maybe do some of the work that you have done to, I mean, I'm sure 6 months ago you weren't as confident as you are now.
Just being full up of everybody else and not yourself. And of course, it's scary to not know yourself and to try new things, but like you've got to try new things to see if you like it, right? Practice makes progress. You're not going to be great at it the first time,
Yeah.
but the more you try, the more you throw yourself in, take that plunge, you will develop, you will get better, you will grow. And some things like, I loved 6 months ago. People I loved 6 months ago. I don't anymore. Like there have been changes here, there, and everywhere. But I think you have to be able to take that courageous step in going like, okay, I don't know who the fuck I am, but I want to find out and see what I like and what
Yeah.
is good for me because you'll grow resentful as well. I feel if like you're not being you, lean into that for you.
Soulful Sips and Spills, sinners.
Oh
So we
yeah.
are reaching out to you, our listeners, to get in touch with us to let us know your sins. They will be
Hmm.
kept completely anonymous, but this is an opportunity for you to be set free. Let's call it Freedom Friday. You can send us in your sins. We will read them out and set you free. No judgment here. We
Yes.
are master psychology coaches and we have been trained in non judgment.
I love that you brought that up of like there is no judgment because although you might hear us having a bit of a bitch and a moan in it, but it's not, it's like a release, isn't it? It's like this is how I feel.
Yeah.
Voice note us. Send me a letter. Send me a handwritten letter. I would like a sin from the confessional.
And each Friday we will have Freedom Friday, where we will read out the sins
Um,
you know what I'm trying to say,
Anonymously.
anonymously,
Yes.
and we'll set you free. Could be
Yeah.
anything, something that your deepest darkest secret to
Something you've been struggling
you.
with.
Maybe it's just that you ate the chocolate bar that you said you weren't going to eat.
Yeah,
It can
and you
be
told a
anything.
big fat fib. It could be anything, everything, anything that you're struggling with, anything you perhaps
Mm-hmm.
maybe, like me, actually felt a bit fearful of saying out loud in the fear of what are people thinking of me. This is your platform. This is your space to do it. We are not here to critique you. This is a completely almost like that vicar's confection.
Confectionery. Confession, you mean? Yeah.
I've got
Um,
sweets on the mind, okay? But yes, it's all
do you
we're sweet
mean
treats.
the father? The vicar the
The
vicar is
father, the
not
vicar,
at
the holy.
confession, is it?
Oh,
He's
I don't know.
he's not there. It's
Shit. Is
the
it the
father.
father or the priest? Are they the same thing?
The the father's at confession, I
Oh,
think.
okay. Well, mother, I have sinned. Mother, I have sinned. But
You
yes,
need to say some Hail Marys.
yeah, some Hail Marys. But yeah, it
Yeah.
could be anything, absolutely anything. But I cannot wait to read, listen to them all. Cannot wait.
I'm
Oh.
excited for the sins, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, no,
Make
I'm
me feel better
intrigued.
about my life.
And this is the place to say it, isn't it? Because if you keep it in, And that goes for, you know, you listening as well. And even if you choose not to send something in just now, please voice that out to yourself, to someone you trust, or, you know, look at someone that you align with to work with. Really, you know, take the plunge and take that chance on yourself, because you deserve to take the chance. You deserve to not have what you've always had and to not cope how you always had. You deserve to do things differently. So yeah, love it.
What is your favorite way to let go of something, Megan? So if there's something you're holding on to, what's your favorite way to let go of it?
As you can tell by my several voice notes, is I'm definitely a talker. And I think for
Mm-hmm.
me, I have to talk those things out to make sense of it. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to, you know, whether that's closing down my eyes and just speaking from the heart, and it's having that safe space to do it with no judgment, like unconditional positive regard. Otherwise, that's when I filter what I'm saying, or, you know, try and change and dilute it. So for me,
Yeah.
it is definitely, it's not just a speaking out. I need to speak it out to make sense of it, but I also need to release it. And for me, it could be a lot of movement, particularly going out with the dog for a walk.
Yeah.
Also, I really love going down the beach or in the forest and just really being looking for fairies and just
Nice.
being playful, and just, yeah, that's how my favorite ways of releasing, being out in nature, being playful, and just,
Yeah.
oh.
Nice.
What about you though? What is your favorite?
Like to write it down on a piece of paper and burn it.
Oh yes, I love that. And
If there's
watching
a
it
full
go.
moon, even better, but doesn't need to
Mm-hmm.
be. I literally, yeah, literally would burn everything.
Yeah, I love she's a little
Burn my
pyromaniac.
soul.
Burn my soul. Well, wait, let's not
Burn
do
my
that because I need
soul like
you.
such a sinner. Yeah,
That we're
I
gonna
would
have to
burn
get a theme
everything.
tune like
Um,
sinners.
yeah, I remember when I split up with my boyfriend, 17, or I might even have been 18. Anyway, I obviously was at my parents' house, and like anything he'd ever given me, like photographs of us, Valentine cards.
Mm,
We'd been together for quite a while. We were
yeah,
childhood sweethearts. I burned
cute.
it.
I
I remember there
burned
was
your
a
love.
teddy bear, and my dad was like, "Don't put that in there. That's just going to make a bloody mess." And I was like, "I need to burn it." And
It's
he
gonna
was like,
stink,
"Oh,
Joanna.
yeah." I was like, "I must burn it," and he was just like, "Oh, for God's sake."
And then Joanna caused a fire.
And that was
Burn
how
me.
I became a pyromaniac.
Yes. Mugshots below. Kidding. No, I
Yeah.
actually love that, like a burning ritual. I also really love that I've got a paper shredder now. So
Oh, yeah.
sometimes if I don't want to burn something, I shred it, and
Shred
like
it.
I'm just like, get in there.
How
Release.
good.
How good. Eee!
How
Wow, what
good.
a
I love it.
fabulous little
I love
episode
it.
there.
Well, Meggie Megs, I think this has
It's
brought us to
to
the
the
end of our
end.
first episode.
Yay! Woo! We'll catch
How
you later,
exciting!
guys.